this fucking sound every week. We can't escape it. She's gonna tell us forever. She's gonna enthusiastically ask for our consent in being recorded. And we welcome it. Oh boy. Oh, I'm so glad you're all here. What a trip being a human is. So today is our Svadhisthana, our sacral chakra class. And I will just tell you the truth, which is that I spent like 2 hours looking through like 25 books to try to find the perfect pelvic fluid spirit sex meditation for you. And I'm sure that it exists and I didn't find it, and that's fine. But I think it's just such a I'm going to choose to let it be a sweet reminder, okay? Which is that it doesn't matter how long we practice. It doesn't matter how many trainings we go to or workshops we host or modalities we learn. There are always going to be moments where we forget what we know, where we forget who we are, and where we forget the truth of our experience being in our own vessels. And, before this class, I was asking myself, Dani, what would it take for you to let yourself rest in the knowledge of like just knowing enough about occupying a space of sexuality and fluidity in the body, which is what Svadhisthana, the sacral chakra, is. And the truth is, I did not come up with an answer. I do not have an answer for you. But I think it is so life-giving to consider the possibility that we're always going to have questions about whether we need to know more, whether we missed a part where we would have learned the thing that we really needed to know that would have helped us to feel like we were prepared now for like whatever it is, parenting, sex, work, seeing clients, seeing ourselves, taking care of other people, taking care of our own work, right? This is just a unanimous experience. It is the experience of Hanuman. It is the experience of doubt. The holiness of not being sure. And the pause of coming back into oneself so that we can remember. So my invitation to you is to close your eyes if that feels okay for you, or let them rest on something that is steady. And to invite yourself into your own chalice, your own container. And there's the larger container maybe of your home or of your neighborhood. So maybe we do it in layers, right? You sort of like arrive in your zip code if you've been existing in the internet space all day. And then you start to arrive in your house on your floor. And you start to arrive in your skin, in the edge of you and the outside world. And you start to arrive deeper within. And you might like to visualize a really gentle orange glow, like a sunset glow, coming from where your sacrum is at your low back and the front of that place. Somewhere above the pubic bone but below the belly button. The low belly space that holds the element of water for us, that holds the depths of what we create, what we allow to unfold through us and inside of us. The energy of the river coming down and through, right through that space before the final gush as it releases down through the waterfall into the next place. This sacral chakra is the space where we feel the water bubble over, where if we invite it to be as full as it can be, the water from the river pools up to the point where it gets released. And just feel like the giving and the taking of this space. Maybe you can feel your breath coming in through your root up into the sacral chakra and then back down. Or maybe you feel it coming in from the mouth all the way down, deep into the low belly, down to meet the top of the pelvic floor and then back up. You're each meant to have your own riverbed pathway, but the breath helps us to travel all of them. And just notice what it feels like to tap into the feeling of fluidity and fullness in this sacral space. Held by the strength of your lower abdomen in the front and the softness and malleability of your really curvable lower back at the back. You are at once completely fluid and completely held in the space of your own making, svadhisthana, one's own abode. And let yourself just drop a little bit of sweetness there, a little drip of honey that says, I'm with you today. I'm with this sacred space, this part of me. I'm not leaving you behind to go do a practice. You are the practice. I am the practice. And you might like to bring your palms together and feel the resonance between where the palms come together, right and left meeting, all the way down and in to this sacral orb. And from that place, gather up the breath for the sound of Om. Release your palms. Find your way onto your back when you're ready. Take your time to get there. We'll lie all the way back. Walk your feet in. Take your feet wide on the mat and let both knees fall to the left. Right knee dips in. So we're breathing into the front of the sacral space, open towards the sky, and the back sacral space, soft towards the earth here. Just really use your breath to inflate and release this space. You're just warming it up and sending some energy through. Come back through center, switch sides, dip knees to the right. Good. Back through center. Hug your knees in for a happy baby pose. Feel your lower back soften and widen on the earth. Lower belly really expands out. Be really brave with how much you let it expand out. We hold that part in a lot, but there's actually so much elasticity in that skin and so much breath space that is available. Good. When you're ready, bring your feet down to the earth, feet hips width apart, hands by your sides, and just a really gentle mini bridge. Lift your hips a little bit. Feel your feet press down, back of your head presses down gently, and you're just going to rock your hips laterally a little side to side. Just make a little space. Just sort of swaying side to side like you're on a lazy Susan on your low back, and you're just kind of like swirling one way and then the other way. Good, y'all. When you're ready, lift up on an inhale, lift your hips a little higher, bridge pose, and exhale all the way down to earth. Pause for a moment. Hug your knees into your chest, hold the back of your thighs, rock up to a seat. Good. And just take your legs wide here. They don't have to be super wide, just extend it out, and however wide feels right for your body. Lengthen up through your spine a little bit, wiggle, and then very gently folding forward. Feel into your low belly. Feel it expand and open. Inhale, and then exhale. Lower back softens. Sits bones drop towards the earth. And you might find that it feels good to, I'll show you from the side, play around with rolling a little forward here. Boop, tailbone reaches back, and then rolling back. Pubic bone lifts up towards your belly button. So you can really play around with moving fluidly with your breath's pace. Inhaling to open, exhaling to round back. Just so gentle. This is not a part that likes to be pushed. This is a part that likes to be invited, right? So this is the part at the beginning of the practice where we just start to ask the question, how can I invite you in? It's sort of like how I imagine Shabbat to be, which is the Jewish Sabbath, that we imagine it as the Sabbath queen. It's sort of like this majestic, powerful woman, and we open the door to her on Friday night as we enter Shabbat, and we kind of just ask gently the question, like, how can we invite you in? What offerings will help you to know that you are welcome here? Sometimes it's the offering of prayers, movement, anything that we call a mitzvah, which is a good deed or really just a conscious and awake deed, right? A deed of living into your present moment experience. Good, y'all. One more deep breath in and out. When you're ready, gently lift up. Eagle arms, right arm underneath the left, legs are wide, and just feel how your sits bones can drop as you lift your forearms a bit and stretch from sacrum, through navel, through heart, through chin. Good, unwrap, open, switch sides, left arm under the right, soften your shoulders, let your tailbone drop, lift your forearms slightly, gentle with the back of the neck. Gently release. Hands under the knees, help your legs to come together. We're gonna swing around and come to hands and knees. Inhale to arch your back, lengthen through your spine, let your belly open and expand. Exhale, round your back. Find a neutral spine. Inhale, stretch your right leg back. Exhale, right knee comes to the left knee pit behind. It sort of reaches to the outer left knee. Take a big stretch here. Inhale, stretch your right leg back. Exhale, knee in towards your right tricep. Squeeze it and press the earth away. We'll do that again. Inhale, stretch your right leg back. Exhale, knee comes to the outer left knee, almost like you're going to sit back for Gomukhasana. Inhale, stretch your right leg back. Exhale, knee to right tricep. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tuck it in behind your left knee. Inhale, stretch your right leg back. Exhale, knee to your right tricep. Good. Stretch your right leg back. Inhale. Knee wraps back behind your left knee. Press into your hands. Sit like halfway back for this sort of child pose, puppy dog shenanigans, right? My knees are stacked like a Gomukhasana, but my tush is in the air and my arms are extending. You can play with it. It can become child's pose. It could become Gomukhasana. But even with this little bit of effort in the arms, can you invite yourself into your low belly with a sway of your low back? Some fullness as your belly falls towards your legs. Good. Lift back up when you're ready. Stretch your right leg up and back. Step your right foot forward, this time between your hands. Stretch your arms up for Anjaneyasana. And again, here, there's this whole shape dropping us down and lifting us up. And right at the center, this orange orb is inflating open through the lower back. Relaxing. Soften the lower belly out and forward. Your bones can really support you here. Good. Grab a block if you've got it, or a pillow. Bring it down on your left side. Reach your right arm up, and then arc over to the left. If it's too much on your back knee, you can lift it up. You can pad with a blanket. I like to double up my mat. A little bit of sink into the right foot, and a reach with your right arm. Good. Circle down and forward. Hands come to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes. Long pyramid. Stretch your right leg. Breathe into your low belly. See if you can get it to reach down and make contact with your right thigh. Good. Rebend your right knee. High lunge. Lift up. Left fingertips around your right wrist. Inhale to reach tall and then bend gently up and over to the left. Same side. You're pulling your outer right tush back. So as per usual, there's all these other things happening above. The sexual space, the erotic space, the space of engaging with life. So the idea isn't that we simplify the other parts of the body. Wrap forward, hands by your side, airplane pose when you're ready. It's how do we bring this part of us, this fluid, expansive, creative part of us with us. Every single vacation, right? Every single adventure. Even waking up in the morning and going to bed at night. Good chair pose, left foot meets the right. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward, walk your feet out. Whatever lets you release forward the most. So if you've got really tight shoulders, it might not be interlacing at the low back. That may lift you up and out. It may feel nice to have blocks under the hands or walk up onto your palms. Make a little space, halfway lift. And then let yourself hang forward. Again, maybe feeling into the belly on your thighs. Fluid and elastic, and lots of space here in your own body to hold your experience and whatever feelings show up. They don't have to, right? But what a lovely thing to be like, there's a container that can hold this if and when any part decides to emerge. Good. Bend your knees, tuck your tailbone, release your arm variation. We're slowly going to roll up to standing. Inhale, reach your arms out and up, feet ground down. Hand to your heart, hands by your side. Good. Chair pose, sit back, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, deep breath in. Step back to high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, drop your heels to the right, side plank. Lift your left arm up. Notice what's happening in your low belly. Can it be the place that joins the top body and the bottom body and expands? Really spacious. Good. Left hand down, chaturanga on your exhale or knees down as you like. Cobra, up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Out through your mouth. Come down to hands and knees. One time, inhale, arch your back, gaze up. Exhale, round your back. Wrap around. Nice. Find neutral. Inhale, stretch your left leg back. Exhale, left knee tucks behind the right knee. Inhale, sweep your left leg back. Exhale, knee to your left tricep. Press down into your hands. Inhale, stretch your left leg back. Open belly. Exhale, cross the knee. Inhale, stretch your leg back. Knee to left tricep. One more time. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, cross it back behind. Inhale, reach it back. Knee to left tricep. Inhale, stretch your left leg back. And then cross your left knee behind your right. You can widen your feet a bit. Press into your hands. Melt down for a puppy dog pose or a child's pose. Or whatever feels right in your body with your legs wrapped. Maybe sitting back into your seat just a little bit. It might even feel good to bring the forearms down or stack them for support. Breathing from that orange orb at the low belly down through your pelvis and hips, out through your tailbone. One space of presence can recruit other spaces. Good. When you're ready, come back forward into your hands. Swing your left leg back. And then step your left foot forward between your hands. Anjaneyasana. Set it up. Feel your left foot ground. And then sweep your arms up. Soft collarbones. Soft toes grounding into the mat. You might grab your block. Right hand down. Lift your left arm up. Side bend over to the right. Good. Inhale. Exhale, round forward, hands down to the earth. Tuck your back toes. Long pyramid pose. Deep breaths. Feel your lower back expand like there's a hand there. You can even put your hand there if you like. When you're ready, rebend your front knee, firm up your back leg, high lunge, lift up. Leaning up and over to the left. Right fingertips around your left wrist. Reach up and over away from that front leg. Pull your outer left hip back. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, round forward, hands by your side. Airplane pose. Chair pose. Feel your feet underneath you. How does that let your pelvis soften and widen with support? Inhale here. Exhale, sweep your arms back behind you. Torso parallel to the earth. Inhale, lift up, chair. Exhale, sweep it back. One more time. Inhale, reach through your heart. Exhale, sweep back. All the way up to standing. Reach up. Fold forward. Exhale. Halfway lift. High plank. Breathe in here. Heels to the left. Side plank. Deep, full breath. Any play that you like with that top leg. You can point and flex. Both feet to the floor, right hand down, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga or knees down. Whatever feels right for your body. Cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full exhale out. Inhale, stretch your right leg up and back. Feel your pelvis open. Low belly expands. Right foot forward, high lunge. Take your time from your front foot. Inhale, flow up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, exalted warrior. Lift up and back. Take your time. Circle the right arm down and around. Extended side angle. Left arm reaches. Circle around and forward. Again, exalted warrior. Lift. Right arm loops around. Exalted. Left arm loops around it. Lift up one more time. Loop around. And then straighten your right leg. Lift your right arm. Triangle pose. Good. Circle your left arm down and around. Drop your back knee. Untuck your back toes. Low lunge. Lift your arms up. Half splits pose. Shift your weight back. Flex your right toes. Rebend your front knee. Standing splits. All the way up to standing. Eagle pose. Left leg wraps. Left arm wraps. Elbows towards your knees. As you wrap in and around your navel, can you feel the back space of your sacrum opening and expanding here? Good. Unwrap, standing splits. Left foot steps back. Sweep your right leg up and back. Shake it out. And then right shin comes forward across the top of your mat. Lengthen through your spine. Make some space here. And we're going to walk out towards sleeping pigeon. You could tuck your right heel in closer towards your glute, towards your groin. You could bring the right shin a little bit farther forward. Play around with what actually gives your belly the most space to open here. Which may or may not be the position that gets you closest to the earth, right? It's okay to have a little space. And it's really amazing to be able to ask for space when you need it. So if your body feels tight or it feels resistant to the shape, one option is to ask, okay, what do you need? What can I offer you instead? What will invite you in? Another option is to listen to that resistance and really hear it and honor it and let it guide you. Guide you in your breath, guide you in your patience. Take your time, lengthen your spine. Reach your heart out and forward. We're gonna press the hands down into the mat, widen your hands a bit, tuck your back toes, roll to the outer blade of your left foot, pick up your right knee for tree variation side plank. You could keep holding the knee or foot meets the inner left leg. Good, broad through your belly, inhale, hand to the earth, downward facing dog. You can release, internally rotate, stretch your right leg up, shake it out, and foot to the floor. Inhale, ripple forward, high plank. Exhale, bend your knees up and back, downward facing dog. Again like that, inhale, forward. Exhale, swoop up and back. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Left leg up and back. Breathe in. Left foot forward. High lunge, inhale, lift up. Exhale, warrior two. Flip your palms exalted, lift. Circle your left arm around. Extended, right arm circles. Take your time, inhale, exalted. Exhale, extended. One more time. Inhale, exalted. Take your time, especially on the rounding part. Extended side angle. This time, lift up, take a big circle around, and then lift your left arm up, straighten your left leg. Triangle pose. Soft neck and jaw here. Good. Circle your right arm down and around, hands come to the earth. Pivot your back foot in, drop your back knee. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Half splits, hands come down. Shift your weight back, flex your left toes. Good, rebend your front leg. Tuck your back toes, standing splits. Launch forward. All the way up to standing. Eagle pose, right thigh over, right arm under. Inhale, lift your arms, drop your tailbone. Exhale, curl around your navel, low back, broad. Of your breath is keeping you company here. Release whenever you're ready. Standing splits, right toes up. Step your right foot back. Sweep your left leg up and back. Shake it out. Left shin comes forward. Hands come back so you can lift and open. Puffed pigeon. And then folding forward, rocking a little side to side. You can bring right hand to the sole of your left foot. Any variation of sleeping pigeon here. And just check out what it's like to imagine yourself as mostly water. That the vast majority of you is made up of water. So what would it be like to let that water sort of slosh around and move around? Like not the thoughts and not the muscles and not the bones guiding you, but the water, the most fluid part, being what's gently making little changes in your body in each moment. Shifting you slightly in one direction, grounding you in one way, expanding you in one way. Take your time, slowly start to walk your hands in towards you. Open up through your chest and jaw a little bit. You're gonna press down, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, outer edge of the right foot. Side plank with a tree leg, maybe holding that knee. High plank when you're ready. Both feet to the earth. Big breath in, ripple forward, all the way down to your belly. Hands down by your sides. Press down into your palms. Lift your legs. Lift your nose. Feel your lower belly soften and widen into the earth. Feel your lower back expand. Your legs might get a little wider. Big inhale. Exhale all the way down. Child's pose. If it feels nice, grab a pillow. You can lay it long ways across your chest or right at your low belly for extra support. And when you're ready, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale all the way out. Stretch your right leg up and back. Step your right foot forward. High lunge, lift up. Warrior two. Exalted with a circle up, back, around. Extended side ankle. Skandasana to the back, left bum cheek to your left heel. Keep your palms together, crescent twist to the front. Bend your right knee, left elbow outside your right knee. Yeah, take your time. If you want to try that transition again, let's do it again, right? Skandasana to the back. Breathe into your low belly, open through the pelvis, and then flow all the way forward, crescent twist. Good, y'all. Revolved half moon when you're ready. Launch forward, open your legs, open your arms, reach your heart up and forward. Step it all the way back, left foot steps back. Windmill the arms open, warrior two. Straighten your right leg. Walk the feet in a little bit for goddess pose. Interlace your fingers, heels of the hands reach up. And a little rock side to side. Maybe a hand to your low belly and a hand to your low back, or arms can stay extended. And when you're ready, you can come with me in these big circles. Exhale, stand all the way up. Inhale, sink deep. As you're receiving your opening, exhale. Inhale, arms open, hips open. Exhale. Inhale, making space for what you're creating here. Good. Warrior two, forward. High lunge, lift up. Warrior three. And can you find that width in the pelvis here in this more closed in, internally rotated shape? Where is there still room? Good, y'all. Standing splits, tip it forward. Drop your left shin behind your right foot all the way down to a seat. Lengthen through your spine and we'll twist to the right. If you want to add on, left hand outside your right foot, stretch your right leg, stretch your right arm. Back through center, Gomukhasana. Take your feet wide. Might feel good to have a block or a smush underneath you. And you could take this more towards that first pose we started with, kind of bringing your arms out and forward, coming toward the child's pose. Or you could keep this in a very different alignment with the spine reaching tall and the hips taking their time, right, to sort of wrap the legs around this Svadhisthana space. It's almost like as the legs are crossing, they're embracing this really warm and generative light that is gently pulsing from inside you. That's a sign that there is still more worlds to be born, worlds to be birthed from inside this body. And even if you have no idea what it is that you're holding yet, what it is that you're incubating, what project, what idea, what way of being, you can still hold it with tenderness. It's sort of like when all of the leaves die off from one of my plants and I actually forget what plant it is, but there's still a bulb at the bottom. And you can still tend to it and water it and give it sun and give it air. And sometimes when we're willing to sort of engage in what we don't see yet, in what is still appearing, something really amazing happens. There's a different relationship of joy when something does appear. Whenever you're ready, we'll take this right leg and gently unwrap it and tuck the right shin back behind, parallel to the side of the mat. So I like to sit on a block for this or a blanket, up to you. Half hero's pose, half splits pose. The left leg is extended long and the right knee is bent, the right foot tucked back behind the right hip. You could stay right here. You could fold forward for a hamstring stretch. You could walk your hands back for a little bit of opening in your quad and your hip flexor and your sacral space across your little belly. Could be really nice to grab another pillow. Oh, it's nice to be by the couch. Yep. And give yourself some support back there if you want to recline. Yeah. If there's a lot of pressure on the knee, try pressing more into the tops of the toes, or lifting your tush and angling your tailbone a little bit down and forward. Big exhale out through your mouth. one part about accessing creativity and creation capacity is it's very messy. There's a lot of mess, right? There's a lot of byproduct. This is part of the beauty of it. So lots of exhaling, lots of space and water and breath. Right? We're just making room to keep experimenting. When you're ready, bring your hands forward, lift up, unwrap your right leg, shake it out. Good, all the way down onto your back. And what a gift it is to not have to hold on to absolutely everything, right? That we create. Goodness. My mom gave me a box of things from 3rd grade the other day. And I was like, not only is there candy from my 3rd grade Valentine's in here that has adhered to everything, but also like, I really don't need this. Bridge pose when you're ready. And not in like a rude way, like a thank you, Mom, for holding on to this. This is a gift. And also like, this is not the medicine of this moment. Sometimes it's actually just okay to let the whole box go, you know? Bridge pose or wheel pose, whatever's feeling right to you here. If you can, bring some awareness to this low belly and low back space. And feeling it really held by the power of the root that we were working with last week, the power of the pelvic floor, so that the sacrum doesn't have to be so tightly held. There's a container that can hold it. Resting when it feels right. You can windshield wiper your knees a little side to side. Hug your knees into your chest. Hold the back of your thighs. Start to rock a little bit. You might find a little balancing point with feet together, knees out wide. In boat pose here, holding the back of the knees or arms extended up and forward. Good, and then rock back again, all the way up to a forward fold. Feet wide, halfway lift, fold in. Good, interlace fingers behind your head, behind your neck, and really gently invite gravity to help you soften. Halfway left, deep breath. Step back to downward facing dog. Stretch your left leg up and back, inhale. Exhale, step your left foot forward, high lunge, slow and steady. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior 2. One time, loop the left arm up, exalted warrior. Extended side angle, reach your right arm out and around. Skandasana to the back. Turn your right toes out. Right bum cheek to your right heel. Good. Keep the palms together. Crescent twist. Peel your back heel up. Right elbow outside your left knee. If you like, one more time with me. Skandasana. Turn your back foot out. Right bum cheek to your right heel. And then sweep all the way around. Back heel lifts up. Right elbow outside or on top of your left knee. Crescent twist. Feel your left foot soft on the earth. Ground down into it. Straighten both legs. Step forward. Revolved half moon. Unwrap. The left hand can also come to your sacral space at your back. So you have something to breathe up into. All the way up to standing. Hug your right knee in towards your chest. Standing splits. Hands down, right toes up. Yeah. Good. Coil your right shin down towards the earth. Left foot steps outside your right thigh. Left hand back behind you. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Twist to the left. Good. If you want, left hand outside, no, right hand outside your left foot. Stretch your left leg forward. Reach your left arm back. Come back around. Or wrap, left knee on top of right. Maybe you've got something under your tush for Gomukhasana. You could take it more into the child's pose variation, coming forward onto the knees. You could stay rooted on your sitting bones. And soften really gently some breath into your left hip. Across your low belly. Wrapping around the right hip. And across your low back. Gentle breath, let it be enough to keep yourself company here. Whenever you feel ready, you can slowly start to breathe up the length of your spine, just enervating with your awareness from root up through sacrum and up through the rest of the spine. We'll take a different transition. Left foot will step back out in front of you. Engage through your pelvic floor. Step forward to standing splits. Right toes go up. Good. Big breath in. Step all the way back to high lunge. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist open to the left. Left arm back, right arm forward. Good. Pivot around, warrior two. Straighten your arms, straighten your legs. Goddess pose to the side. Hands to your knees. Let yourself soften down into your hips. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, dip your right shoulder down. Use your hands to open your hips. Take your time. Inhale, find center. Exhale, left shoulder dips. Inhale, find center. Right shoulder down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, left shoulder down. Inhale, rise up through center. Sink deep at center. Straighten your arms, straighten your legs, lift up. Toes in, heels out. Widen your feet a bit. Hands to your hips. Feel like a C grip, like a little crab claw wrapping around. Feel the wholeness of your hips here. The power of your hips. Feel them fill your hands. Inhale, lift your heart. And exhale, slowly pour forward. You can keep hands on hips, feeling your low belly expand. You can bring hands down for tripod headstand or another variation of forward fold. Invite your low back to feel how your feet and hands are really able to hold you. And notice if there's any space for a little subtle release there. Good. Halfway lift, lift up. Hands to your hips, rise all the way up to standing. Reach your arms up. Warrior two to the back. High lunge to the back, lift up. Twist, right arm back, left arm forward. Come back up through center. Hands down to the earth. Drop your back knee. Walk your hands back. Half your asana, sitting back inside of your left heel. Right leg is extended. Good, you could stay right here. You could walk your hands back. Just reclining as much as you want to or need to. This could also be something else, like a tree leg instead of the knee bent in this way. And you might find, as I am finding, that whereas one side, there's all sorts of space, on another side, there's something quite different. So give your body the grace of not having an expectation. And instead an invitation to notice how the swirl of your sacral space responds to opening in the hip flexor. Does it rush over to help the hip flexor and try to wrap around it? Does it try to show the hip flexor that there is room to open and breathe and expand? How can this creative wisdom invite you into a practice that is designed completely by you? You can gently start to lift up at any time. Rock over onto your right hip, extend your left leg out in front, and shake it out with your legs. Coming back to that wide leg stance that we started with. You can open your legs wide on your mat here. Right arm over your right leg. Inhale, reach your left arm up and over. Exhale. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend to the left. here. Exhale. Inhale, lift up through center. Exhale, up and over to the right. Stay for the inhale. Exhale. Inhale up through center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend to the right. Circle down and around your back. And then you switch over the left side. Lift up through the top. Exhale, wrap all the way down and around. Yeah. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down and around. Your low belly is leading you. It's the axis of the whole orbit. Land on the left side, and then we'll switch sides. So we'll switch directions. Now we're going clockwise, around and forward. Inhale, lift up through center, left arm, right arm. Exhale, down and forward. Take your time. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale. Belly open. Exhale, lower back soft. Inhale. At your speed, exhale. We inhale up through center. Exhale, soften here. You're right at the center of that orbit. You might be able to still feel it in your head a little bit. The swirl to the right and the swirl to the left. Find the length right at the center. Inhale and exhale, forward fold. Any way you like. Legs could stay wide or they could change. Just making room for this hip gateway, this hip chalice, right? This container of the hips to expand, to melt down into the earth, to communicate in whatever way it's ready to. It might be just like a little hint of curiosity or a wondering about how being present in that part of the body changes the way that you inhabit your space. It might be a feeling of a deep yearning or a desire to be with wildness or fluidity. It might just be an inclination that you know that you need to slow the whole process that you're in right now, because you're sensing that there's not enough room for what it is that you're breathing life into. Just the invitation to encounter these pieces of data without judgment, with delight at the sound of the invitation being heard. Inhale to slowly rise up. Use your hands to help you bend your knees, hug the legs together, feet to the floor. Bring your left hand to hook outside your right knee. Squeeze the inner thighs together, right hand behind you. Twist, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, spiral open to the right. up through center, and we'll switch sides. Left hand hooks outside. No, right hand hooks outside your left knee. Twist to the left. Good. Inhale up through center. Come all the way down onto your back. Any final movements that you need, or moving right into rest if that feels good. It might feel nice today to take supported bridge for a Shavasana shape. Block underneath your low back, legs extended long so that your hip flexors can find some space and dialogue with your sacral space. If that sounds like way too much work, no problem at all, right? Lying on your back, support underneath your legs with a bolster, or legs at the wall. Just let it be right for you. And when you do come into rest, you might like to rest your hands, thumb on your navel, index or middle finger sort of reaching down towards the pubic bone, so that you're really cradling the front space of this Svadhisthana, of this gathering of fluid capacity. This creative matrix that's holding and stretching and connecting all at once inside of you as you do these practices of self-inquiry and self-exploration. And as you come to rest, I'll read to you about Ananda. Ananda, the Sanskrit term meaning happiness, enjoyment, sensual pleasure, the thing wished for, the end of the drama. There is a universe of practices encoded in the sutra that includes this in the Radiant Sutras. Notice that Ananda is used twice to emphasize that sensual pleasure and happiness are essential. Here are a couple of mantras you can play with as a way in. Sva Ananda Bharitam. I am nourished and filled with the bliss of my soul. Sva Amritam. I am suffused with the nectar essence of life. The verse includes the word Amrita, not dead, immortal, imperishable. The nectar, conferring immortality, produced at the churning of the ocean, ambrosia, an antidote against poison, the residue of a sacrifice, anything sweet, a pear, a ray of light. You can begin by meditating with the Amrita, the nectar that permeates your body, Sva Amrita. And as you shift, you may accept that the entire universe is filled with your joy and your essence. Or you may be filled with the joy and essence of the universe. You can meditate on the cosmos and your body being filled with the Amrita. Bliss is a necessary foundation. Without it, the electricity of the life force can grate on your nerves. Bliss is nourishing, and it suffuses, lubricates, and coats the nerves with the deep existence of pleasure. Oh, with the deep pleasure of existence. When you find bliss, notice and welcome it. Do not let any voices tell you that feeling pure joy is not a serious meditation practice. Bask in pleasure shamelessly. Amrita is also an antidote against poison, a medicine. Amrita nourishes and heals every cell of the body and sustains the heart as we live in this harsh world. With one sweep of attention, gather in the whole universe and remember it as your body of bliss. The deep rhythms of life pulsating, stir and ambrosia, flowing and overflowing everywhere. Drink the nectar of all-pervading joy from the radiant cup that is this very body. And if you feel ready, you're welcome to release Shavasana in your own timing. Maybe resting on the earth if that feels right for you. I love this idea of lubricating the space between ourselves and our environment by wrapping ourselves with practices of pleasure. So just notice after the practice if any part of you feels at all that the edges are different. They don't necessarily have to be smoother, right? They could just be different. They could be sanded in a different way. And I'll read to you from our card today. If I can find it, which I know I can. Yeah, this makes sense. We got the camel card. It was a magic water card. Okay. The camel. The camel can handle anything as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. This wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenge with ease. Oh, okay. Even in the face of excess heat, judgment, or anger, the camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water. The camel represents the form of bringing opposites into balance, fire and water, and being responsible for one's own reactions. The camel is a wonderful traveler and especially fond of trips to faraway lands. When out of balance, dehydrated, lacks vitality. When imbalanced, calm, connected with a sparkle in the eye. So this is really the invitation of when we do these practices of self-love and self-lubrication and self-exploration, essentially emotionally, interpersonally, spiritually, we end up with these resources, right, that allow us to engage in the world in a way that is more fun, honestly, right, but also perhaps more easeful. And if we go into the desert and we have not filled whatever part the camels fill, right? Then we may survive, but it may be a harder time, right? It may be a less enjoyable time, and we may have to worry more about whether we are supported. So this is the invitation for us to take the opportunities we can, and they're not always available, but when they are, to nourish, to bathe, to cleanse, to open, to drink, right? To hydrate emotionally and bodily, so that we are fluid, so that we are really able to be with that most of us made of water part, that it can really sort of guide us. The water can guide us and carry us easily. It's such an honor to be with you. Thank you for practicing this water magic tonight. I'm holding you with a lot of love. Often when water magic is called for, it's at a time when it doesn't feel very watery at all, right? It doesn't feel very easeful necessarily. So there's that too, right? That it's the balancing of fire and water. So inviting in the balancing element from whatever it is that's feeling really present for you lately. It's such a gift. Okay. I love you dearly.